Hey boos, are you ready to make a quilt for Halloween? I have got the perfect pattern from Rosa and the even better fat quarter bundle called Hey Boo. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, and I will share some more information about them later. I have been a little obsessed with this Hey Boo pattern. This is what I found while I was out in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I bought it when I was quilt shop hopping with Di from Sister Chicks Quilting. We had a great time, and I will have to share with you all of my purchases. But for right now, we're going to focus on using this baby to make a quilt. Let me show you the other Hey Boo fabric that I got earlier. It all started in Mississippi, and I found this. So you can see the patterns. They are adorable. This is such an unusual color combination for Halloween, but I love it. So I have been collecting different cuts of this fabric ever since. All right, my Rosa pattern is called Nevada, and this is it. Now, I have to pick out 6 fabrics from this bundle. I think I can do it. Okay, really? All right, we're gonna do it this way. I need 6 fat quarters. So I think what I'm going to try to do is get 6 different colors. Here I have pinks and peaches, which those are pretty close together. So I think I'm going to pick that one. And right now I'm going to pick that one and that one. And okay, so that's 3, 4. I really like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more. I don't have 2 spider webs. There we go. No thinking over it, we're just gonna do it. Let's see what the directions say. All right, from each fat quarter, I'm going to cut 1 strip and then subcut it, and then 2 strips and then subcut those. And the cool thing about this pattern is the way you lay it out makes all the difference in the world. So if you look, there are different ways you can lay it out as a mixture. You can lay it out where it looks stair-steppy, and so who knows what we'll end up with. Here they are, all laid out nice and straight. This fabric collection, Hey Boo, is by Lella Boutique. I'm not sure I said that right. And it is from Moda. Everything's nice and flat and lying on top of one another. And there are only 6 fat quarters, so you know me, I am going to use all 6 at one time because, you know, we can. I forgot one. There it is. Now we have all 6 stacked on top of each other. Okay, I'm going to cut it this way. Let's turn it around and let's straighten up one side before we do that. Now I know the selvage is straight, so that allows me to line up all the fabric at the bottom. And now I just have to make sure, since these aren't always cut straight, that I'm not missing any. I'll line it up like that. Now that we have a straight edge, I can line that up on a line on my cutting mat. Let's cut off the selvage. Now this selvage would be really cute for something, I'm sure. Since my ruler isn't quite wide enough, I'm going to bring in another ruler so that I can measure and use the other ruler as my guide. This is what I have left over. This might make a cute border or a binding. This is going to totally shock you, but I didn't cut my fabric right. Instead of cutting your fat quarter long ways, cut it. Was this long ways? Is this long ways? Cut it. Cut your strips on the long side. So you'll have a wide strip and 2 thinner strips. Do it this way. In my defense, there was no picture, but I will tell you, I think that when you mess up like that, it's actually a good thing because it causes you to use your brain. You know, I'm just going to follow this pattern and blindly do what it tells me to do, maybe. But when I don't do what it tells me to do, then I have to figure out, what am I going to do now? So what I did is I took some of my leftovers and I just added to the block. And now they're perfectly fine. So don't be afraid to mess up. It gives you the opportunity to use the cognitive skills that you have learned in life. Or you just get a new fat quarter bundle and start over. But I didn't want to do that. I love this Hey Boo. Okay, let me show you how to really cut it, and then we'll get on to what we're going to do next. Had I to do it over again, I would press my fat quarter and then I would fold it. And then I would cut it correctly. Now this means that I wouldn't do it 6 at a time, but I guess I can live with that. All right. So if I put this here, and normally I would straighten this out, but this side looks really straight. I don't know who cut it, but whoever did it, they did a great job. All right. So I'm going to put this here, if I can get my stuff out of my way. So if you do come across this pattern or want to use this pattern, use the math skills that you were taught in school, unlike what I did, and you will have a much better experience. But for those of you who are like me, cut it long ways. You know, that's one reason I do these videos, so that I can make the mistakes and have to recover from them, and you won't have to. All right, so this would have been perfect, but that's not what I did. So I do think that I will like this pattern so far. So far I'm happy with it, so I'm going to put this aside for another quilt. I have cut my wide pieces, and then I need to cut my other strips. And let's see if I messed those up. Oh, I'm sure I did, because oh my. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be sewing. Okay, and you're supposed to measure once, cut twice. Yep. I'm going to be doing some more sewing because that's not enough. That's all right. That's why I do this, right? I love to sew. Thank goodness I have this. We can use these 2 little stacks to sew together. This guy I can cut. See, there's always a way to fix things. Okay, those 2 go to the side, and then I want to cut this. And now I will just join these two together on the straight edge and cut them the right length. Remember how I showed you earlier that you have all of these options? That's what I mean by it's so versatile already. So what you can do is you can make blocks, and there are two different ways to make blocks, or you can just take your individual pieces, put them up on the design wall in the order that you want, and make a third option. It's just, I love it. I think I'm going to pick option 2. So that's the one in the center. Now, do you really think it's going to end up that way? Who knows, but we'll see. And what I thought as I was sewing is I could have mixed 2 different patterns together. Instead of just making one pattern, I could take spider webs and ghosts and, you know, mix it up even more. But I thought the first time that I do this pattern, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to follow the traditional way. Maybe next time I'll do that. And the block that I am going to make is going to have this bigger rectangle. Yeah, this bigger rectangle. And then it will have 2 different borders. So I can put, oh, I don't know if I want to put a ghost on there. Let's put this up on the design wall and see what we think. Here are the examples of your options. This is the option I'm choosing. So I have my big block, and then I have 2 different smaller blocks on top and bottom. That's actually option 2. Option 1 is you can have a big block and then use the same fabric on the top and the bottom in the smaller rectangle. Or you can just put them up on your design wall, or just put them next to your sewing machine, sew them together, and be done with it. I kind of like this option. I'm sure I will use this pattern again, and I might even choose that option. What I plan on doing is sitting down at my sewing machine, having a stack of big blocks and 2 stacks of the smaller blocks, and just sewing. So whatever happens, happens. And you know, when I get started putting my blocks up on the wall, it always makes me think, oh, I need to come up
Another
with
great feature
some
is
way to quilt
this platform is on demand.
I have seen that
This
some
summer I
people
found that I've got a
have their
little extra
iPad,
time,
and there's this
so I
software
plan on
that you
brushing
can
up
use on the
Canva
iPad, and you can take your
learning to
pen
use Procreate so that
and
I can take
on a
pictures
picture
of my quilts
of your quilt
and try out
draw
different quilting
designs to see which ones you like best. I thought that's so cool. So I got the iPad, I got the pen, and I got the software. Well, now I need to know how to use it. So I went out to Skillshare. Here on Skillshare, I did a search for Procreate Beginner and found the perfect learning path that can take me from a newbie to an expert by following the classes. I also found that there is a class on Canva. Canva is what I use to create my thumbnails. It is very exciting to find that the largest online learning community for creatives is by creatives. I've been scrolling through the classes on Skillshare and noticed some of the classes are taught by people who are on YouTube. It was really neat to see that you could learn from someone that you're familiar with from YouTube. I found that I have a little extra time this summer, so I'm going to take that time to brush up on my Canva and also perfect my Procreate skills so that I can use the software to choose my quilting designs. And Skillshare is available on demand. I can use it on my iPad when I am on the go. Maybe I'm sitting and waiting for a doctor's appointment. I have enjoyed Skillshare so much that I am working with Skillshare to offer the first 500 people who use the link in my description below a free premium membership for 1 month. So if you use the link in the description below, you will get a 1 month free premium membership to Skillshare. I know that I've enjoyed the classes, and I feel sure that you will find classes that you're interested in on the Skillshare platform. However, if I don't get this quilt put together, there isn't going to be anything for me to quilt or to use Procreate and a picture for to see what my design looks like before I even sew it. I'm going to go to the sewing machine, take all my blocks, and when I come back, we'll see what it looks like on the design wall. Here I have my 18 blocks. So let's just put them up, see what happens. They should be 6 across and 3 down. That's adorable. There, you can see it better. I am definitely going to use some of my either fat quarters or charm squares or something to put a border around this. I think it's adorable. And it came together so quickly. Now, this quilt is not going to put itself together, unfortunately. That wasn't one of the features of the pattern. So I'm going to throw my rows together. I'll be back and I will show you the final quilt, minus the border. And there she is. I don't know if it looks the same as it did when you saw it last time, but this time it's all put together. I think it's so cute. I can't decide what border I'm going to use, but I am sure that I will be able to do that. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. When you subscribe, that pushes my videos out to more people and gets me closer to that silver play button that I've got my eye on. This again was a Villa Rosa pattern called Nevada. The fabric is Hey Boo by Lella Di, help me out. How do you pronounce it? And it's from Moda. Lella Boutique, Lella Boutique? Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Eat some chocolate and be kind to everyone. Until next time, oh, and don't forget, go out there. You can get that premium membership with Skillshare if you're one of the first 500 people. I'm going to go take my iPad and I'm going to take a picture of my quilt, and I'm going to figure out if I want ghosts or spider webs or stars. The options are endless. Thank you. Bye.